Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cocktail Blog number 21. Hey, I'm legal. Tonight's drink, I made him go all out. A margarita craft cocktail with, they have homemade potato chips here. I didn't find this out after 3 weeks. This will most certainly be my undoing. Anyway, margarita. Así. Well, nothing really all that monumental to report on this blog. Kind of funny. I've mentioned in the past how it gets windy here. And 2 nights ago, it was so windy, I really just had to shut it down. The telescopes were blowing all over the place, and there was just no point in continuing. There's a meter on the telescope that senses when it's vibrating back and forth beyond a reasonable limit, and it aborts the exposure when that happens. Well, it was aborting so many exposures, I wasn't getting anywhere. So the following day, I come up, and the small telescope has actually blown 6 inches off of its position next to the other telescope. So I had to completely start over with polar alignment from scratch. So I went into the office and told them, listen, you need to do something about the wind. And of course, we all had a good laugh about that. And they told me that August is the windy month around here and that the winds are actually pretty important. So yeah, of course, I get that. But the funny thing is that last night was dead calm, as if they had flipped a switch in the office. And I had maybe the most trouble-free night of shooting images I've had since I've been here. Just got everything up and running, and everything just worked. It was unbelievable. So I shot from about 8 o'clock until 3 in the morning, and past 3 in the morning, and got a lot of good data. And as a result of that, I have a couple of images to show you. I'll preview them here, but this first one I'm going to do a complete blog post on because this thing is crazy. This is the Tarantula Nebula in the constellation of Dorados, which is an area inside the Large Magellanic Cloud, which is one of the satellite galaxies of the Milky Way. This thing came out great, and there are so many interesting things going on there. I'm going to have to do some serious reading and do up a good blog post. This is also the location of the only supernova explosion that's relatively nearby since the telescope has been invented, and that was about 1610. So supernova 1987A occurred in the Tarantula Nebula in the Large Magellanic Cloud in 1987. And so I'm going to do a deep dive blog post on this image and all the other stuff, but it's very, very cool. And then I've mentioned that I'm having a hard time finding things to shoot. Well, I found out about this thing called the Cosmic Bat, and it's a dark nebula. Technically, it's called LDN 43. And it looks like a bat made out of dust. And so I thought I would give it a shot. I'm not really all that experienced at shooting or processing all these dark, dusty things, but I think this came out pretty well. And sure enough, it really does look like a bat. So I had an idea today. Every now and then I'm up at the telescope and I hear group singing coming from the dining room down here. And apparently that's the staff here all getting together and singing happy birthday in some African dialect to whoever's there. And I had an idea that maybe I would get together with them and do a little recording session and record them singing and use it as part of the video that I'm going to make. So started talking to them about that. So I started taking a large panel mosaic of the Milky Way with my regular DSLR camera, and I got that all taken in about 45 minutes last night. But in order for the program to stitch it together, it has to go through and look at the stars in the photo and find them and create a map of what exactly is contained in this image in terms of area of sky. And it won't stitch them together unless it has that. And so I did the first one and it worked great. And then the second one wouldn't work and the third one wouldn't work. And I haven't tried the fourth, fifth, or sixth one yet, but we're just going to have to see how they go. I'm going to have to try and figure something out. Otherwise, it was a lot of wasted effort. But nevertheless, all stitched together, it could be a very excellent shot. Well, that's about it. Cocktail blog number 21 is done. Margarita, carpe noctem.